Scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a real-time process video using my new on-the-go and going slow collection. And as you can see, today I will be using the going slow portion of this collection. I had this photo in mind when I designed this collection because it's not actually very often that my husband and I watch TV, let alone watch TV snuggled up on the couch. But we happened to enjoy some time together a few weeks ago on the couch. We watched, oh man, we've been watching Ted Lasso, such a good show. But we had just finished Ted Lasso, and I think we were watching something silly like Hell's Kitchen. But we were snuggled up on the couch, and I took a photo, and I just love it so much that I knew I wanted this to be the first layout that I scrapbooked with this collection. So this quote from a Snow Patrol song from a million years ago now is actually one that I used with a photo of Patrick and Josiah when Josiah was a little tiny baby back in 2006. So I really like the symmetry of using this quote again. Oh my gosh, 15 years later with a photo of Patrick and I. So I am going to keep this really simple, and I want to use this heart paper to sort of go on both sides of the spread to draw both sides together. I like using full page photos in my Life Crafted album, but I really wanted this one to, it felt like it was too different from the color scheme of the collection if I just did it on its own. So I used that paper to go across both sides of the spread so that I could bring the colors across the page before I started adding embellishments. It just made more sense to me and felt a little bit better. So I'm going to embellish this somewhat lightly. I want to cover up the bottom right hand side of this photo just because it's all my legs in my lovely sweatpants. So I just want to cover it up a little bit, but I don't want there to be, I don't want to block the intertwining of our legs because I think that's a large part of the photo. So I'm going to create two clusters, and then I'm just going to add this one die cut to the right hand side there, just to make sure that that right hand side isn't just only the TN signature. I included TN signatures in this collection because they are super fun, and I wanted to include them as just sort of a large journal card option. So that is what I based the right hand side of this layout on. Now I'm going to start gluing everything down. You can see how quickly this came together. I did cut out some portions of like rooting through the stickers, trying to find the ones that I wanted, but this whole layout took me about 15 minutes to put together because not every page has to take you a lifetime for it to be adorable. I want to create this cluster of hexagons up in the top right hand corner. It's funny because I used the going slow portion of this collection, or at least that vibe, which is the snail side of the collection, but I did include one of the little bees because I'm gonna have one of the word arts sit down at the bottom that says as happy as can be with two E's. So I wanted to make sure that I included the little bee so that it made a little bit of sense. I put this hexagon up too high, so I'm going to put this one down first to make sure that I place this hexagon correctly this time. I was initially going to journal on this hexagon, but I decided that this page really didn't need any words. So I'm just going to put something over the top of it when I'm ready. Now I want to nest the red hexagon in between those two. This one says, I am one with the couch. And I'm going to put this flower underneath it just for a little bit more of an organic feel. There's a lot of hard lines in the stickers because that is how I design them so that they're easy to cut out. So I like using the florals to sort of break up all of those straight lines. Okay, so I've got this done at the top here. Now I need to create the cluster at the bottom, and I'm going to use the tag, the pink tag, as a base for this cluster. Now that does two things. One, it just adds a little bit larger of a piece to the cluster, but it also will cover up a lot of that bottom of that photo that I didn't want showing too much. I want to include this floral cluster as well. The stickers in the collection include singular florals as well as some floral clusters. I always like there to be options. I want to include this power saving mode. And then one more word bit that says happy as can be. And then of course I need to include the actual bee as well. So I'm going to have that flying over the top, making sure it's nice and close to that phrase so that they visually make sense together. And I like having the bee and the snail together on the spread. That's fine. And cut off the excess here, and I want to add in a string to my tag. Again, it will give the spread a little bit more of that organic vibe. Break up the hard lines. So I'm going to use yellow string. Thought maybe I would add the little snail over there, but it just kind of threw off the lines of the whole layout. So instead, I'm going to add in some hearts because there is that heart over there on the right hand side, so I want to include some on the left hand side. I always like to have clusters of 3 with my basic shapes. It's just something that's like a little tick for me, and sometimes it just has to happen. Sorry about that train, you guys. Knoxville has lots and lots of trains. I want to include one more of those hearts, so I'm looking for the right color, which I'm going to use pink up here because there's lots of pink on the right hand side, but surprisingly, even though I have a big old pink, light pink tag down there in the bottom corner, there's not a lot of pink on the left hand side. So we're going to bring some pink over here with this heart. And then the last thing I need to do is add in the string. So I'm going to pull that up. I thought yellow would be a good touch for this layout because there's just that little hint of yellow in there. And that is it for this page. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed, and I would love to see you over there as well. I will leave a link to the On the Go and Going Slow collection in the description box below. It is a super fun collection that feels springy, but will take you into fall as well because the colors are nice and rich and deep. So it's going to be very useful all year for me. All right. I will see you next time. Thank you.